welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. I think, a little low here. I think everything is going okay. Let's see. Yeah, let me know if there's any sound or visual issues. Well, there are visual issues. Yeah, weird. I thought this was all set. There we go. A live adjustment. There we go. All right. So back again. Back again. I don't know what's going on. All right, let's try this again. Back again for another week. There we go. Yeah, I think this will work. Oh, I've got some custom brush going on here. Yeah, I was trying out, there was I forget the name of the studio, but they were doing a pretty cool offer. Let me take a look and see if I can find it. Yeah, here. So True Grit Texture Supply did a bunch of kind of retro brushes and stuff that I was playing with. They have a sampler that I downloaded for. I can show a few of those off on this layer. And so a lot of retro stuff, and they even have actions and things that'll degrade your line work so that it matches, like old comic book work and stuff. So here's one of their thin inking brushes, and let's see here. Yeah, but they've got some interesting stuff. So different stippling textures. So things that imitate a lot of kind of print, and there's a really rough brush. What was the? Oh, they've got some nice tones. Yeah, so things that are imitating a little bit bigger, so you can actually see that. Yeah, but things that are imitating the dots for print textures, so you can fill things in. Oh, and it's pressure sensitive too. It gets darker. You can fill things in, or just kind of texture things up. Yeah, this has got. That's right. I'm working at super high res, so I have to get a lot bigger for you guys to even see what's going on. Maybe this way. There we go. So you can see that's imitating the tone for print textures, like the dots, because when they print for magazines or newspapers or whatever, it's not even color, because that's too much ink on the paper, and it wouldn't actually make it through the printing press. So they have to break things up into like dot tones and patterns. Yeah, I thought these were pretty cool. So yeah, they did a sampler with kind of all of their best stuff that I was playing with. So that was True Grit Texture Supply. And yeah, I might play around and do some kind of retro thing. It'd be funny to see exactly like what my cartoon art would look like as if it was simulated in an old newspaper or something. Hey Sedona, hey K5, how's it going? Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Thanks, K5. Yeah, I'll take a look. Yeah, Hyphonics is so kind. That was great. That was a huge raid last time. My subscribers went up 50% just for like that little bit. But yeah, really nice. That was fun. But yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Good to see you on the stream. Sorry, the timing for my stream's a little odd. I might have to do a little be right back because I have to do more driving in this cold weather. Nobody's walking around, and all the taxis and things are very busy because no one can really walk anywhere in this cold weather. So I gotta pick up my daughter eventually. But yeah, so maybe I'll do some experiments later with some of these brushes to get. Oh wow, well, that's a very 80s looking pattern. Oh, that would have been perfect for the sprinkles and the donuts. But yeah, a lot of interesting, and that's great that they're pressure sensitive. Look at that; you can kind of just build them up. So yeah, that was that. That's what I was talking about with those. But yeah, I forgot this file specifically. This cartoon file is way too high resolution for the brushes. This is not a good way to work. But let's try this again. There we go. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, I was just playing around with some pens that some brushes. Yeah, some Photoshop brushes. So that company does. They support a bunch of different. Let's see, Illustrator, Procreate, Affinity, and Photoshop. So they build brushes for everything. So that's pretty cool. That was just their free sampler where they did some stuff to show off, and they do yeah, all kinds of distressing. There's things that give you like paper texture, so you can literally do like a faded yellow like newsprint texture for your paper, and the things that'll distress your line work so it looks more like it was badly printed in an old magazine or a newspaper. So I might play around with that. That might be good for like the cover work, the style for cover illustrations for a book, which I definitely have to with next year being the 20th anniversary. That's still insane. With next year being 20th anniversary, I got to put together another book collection because I'm obviously another 1,000 cartoons in, so we'll see. Yeah, there could be some really cool retro stuff. So that might be a fun idea because I love that look. That's why I did kind of that fabric, that stained fabric texture for the first book collection. So I want to do something like that, make the cartoons look a little old because they are old as hell, man. That's insane. All right, so let's see how zoomed in I am. I think that, yeah, there we go. So we'll see if I can find a nice set of brushes because I think the sampler just it's not quite enough to do what I wanted to do. So I'll see which set of theirs works best. Yeah, and with some time and work, you can build those brushes yourself. It's just nice that they kind of collected everything together, but you can go through and bring those textures in and make your own brushes that way. So a lot of digital artists, that's what they do is find shapes and things that mimic the way they want to draw. And just build their own brushes because you can set the shape of the brush and the sensitivity and kind of how the whole thing degrades. So we'll see. Yeah, but for my purposes, the basic brush does enough because I'm just trying to imitate a heavy marker line. So that works. Nice. So there's a little bit of there's politicians resigning in Japan because they keep breaking the lockdown and going out to restaurants. So at least they're being accountable. All the politicians, the governors, and people doing that in the U.S. just say, "Oh, sorry," and they stay in office. But they're actually having to step down here because people are starting to tolerate that much less. Oh yeah, there was a weird article about masks where they did a test. They kind of had a opinion show or like a trial. I don't know, like a public opinion kind of trial, where they had the news anchor, just like the nightly news anchor, wear a mask. And then they asked people to, send their comments about whether they liked that or not, whether they wanted to see that or have the on-air newsreaders, maskless. And it makes sense because I'm sure there's nobody around them, and it would be safe for them to do that, because I'm sure there's like smaller production crews and everything now to deal with things being contagious. But the majority of people, like over half of the people, I think it was like 63% or something, said that they liked seeing the newsreaders wearing masks because then it felt like it matched them, that they were going through the same things that they were obeying the same kind of etiquette. And that was really surprising because it's a weird unnecessary thing. So it's very artificial. It's not necessary. It doesn't really do anything for the newsreader, or it doesn't really protect the crew, because I'm sure how they're doing things is already, there's already safety protocols in the studio. So not being able to see the newsreader's mouth is a little strange. And but people said it made them more comfortable. It made them feel like the newsreader wasn't better than them or some special, privileged person, which is really interesting. That's Japanese. That's a Japanese reaction too. So I was surprised by that. So there is still, you don't see it. It's not as public as it maybe is in America, but there are still people with a lot of thoughts about wearing masks in Japan, even though it's very much part of the culture. But they don't like the idea of some group of people being privileged and feeling that they don't have to wear, or just looking different, so they on air they're not wearing masks. Because a lot of the variety shows and kind of live, and it's not live, it's live to tape, but a lot of the kind of taped live variety shows, everyone is wearing masks and sitting between big acrylic dividers on stage. And I guess people like that. People are comfortable with that. It just makes things feel like, okay, now everybody is doing this. There's not some special ruling class of people that don't have to do that. So it's interesting. The reaction was not what I thought it would be, because the few kind of face-to-face cafe English lessons that I still do, I don't wear a mask during those. I mean, we're sitting at least a meter apart, so it's and all of the cafes and stuff are reduced, socially distanced, reduced tables and everything. So we're not near anybody, but I've just thought that that's ridiculous, because especially if you're trying to learn communication, if you can't start to read people's lips and stuff during communication, and read their kind of expressions and all that extra information that you get in conversation, then you're missing a lot of it. You're losing a big part of that. So I haven't worn a mask during any sort of conversation, but I guess some people, or majority of people, would be more comfortable with that. It's really interesting. That's not what I expected people to feel here. But they just it's interesting. They don't like, and maybe that's why the politicians had to resign that broke lockdown. What's going on here? Broke lockdown is they Japanese people are really intolerant of this kind of an elite ruling class, which is funny because I would think Americans would be much less tolerant of people that thought they were better than other people. But it's really not tolerated here in Japan, or people are very sensitive to it. So very funny. And that also, I mean, that's a huge contrast from other parts of Asia. I mean, a lot of Asian countries, people tolerate this ruling class mentality. So really funny. All right, maybe a cap or something. So people want to watch people wear. It just depresses me to see that. I don't like those those kind of variety shows or those panel shows where people are doing that. It just looks, so medical and so depressing. It looks like everyone's like in an ICU unit because they're already so spaced out. And they're doing that thing now where they have people sitting like 2 meters apart on the stages, like very, very far apart. But they put them on green screen, and so they key the background out, and then they in the like group shot or whatever, they put them together. They overlap them so they look like they're sitting close together. So you have you can remember the day when people would sit side by side around tables or, for these like panel shows. But actually the reality is they're all 2 meters apart. So they do this like weird, chroma key illusion where they key everybody separately, then they put them all together in this little group shot. And it looks much better. But then you realize, wow, that's completely faked. And that makes it even more sad that you want that, but they have to artificially recreate people being within arm's reach of each other. That's very funny. But yeah, all kinds of attempts to figure out how to make this work, and eventually people won't even care anymore. People will be fine with the that uncomfortable look of plastic dividing everybody. And it's weird too because the standard comedy style is kind of like an old 50s stage comedy style, or maybe like even like almost vaudeville. There's like a mic in the middle, and it's just ornamental. They're all on wireless mics, but there's a microphone in the middle, kind of like a retro, old style mic on a stand between them, and the comedians stand on either side of it, and they both are talking into the same mic. And that's like the look of comedy in Japan. But now with the social distancing, the mic is basically hiding a plastic divider, like a clear plastic divider. So some camera angles you can see it, and some it's more invisible. But because they're talking into each other's faces. But for some acts, they're interacting a lot. There's like slapping on the head, or there's like physical interaction. So that doesn't work as well. But I've seen that where if they're not physically going to interact with each other, they divide them up. It's so bizarre. It'll just be sad too when we give up all of those. It'll be one of those remember when. I remember watching TV when people were actually their shoulders were actually touching. Isn't that crazy? That's so old style. But yeah, it'll be very sad that those will be distant memories. Ugh, some bass. I keep hitting that zoom instead of undo. Just like I hit the be right back key on the stream. I gotta keep checking to make sure I'm actually streaming. Yeah, Twitch was doing something weird. It wasn't displaying my live stream on the channel page. I don't know what's going on. Just getting some weird error. Video download canceled. Yeah, I have no idea. Error 1000. Yeah, it's fine on the individual stream page, but on their little channel page, it doesn't work. Maybe my settings aren't optimized for Twitch. There we go. That's still not it. Damn. I don't know why this is so difficult. 30 minutes of me trying to draw the bottom of a wine glass. Okay, so I'll just do it in pieces here so I can get something more satisfying. Okay. But, yeah, very odd. Something like that. Yeah, I was really surprised by that reaction from people. So that's the funny thing about Japan is people really hide their opinions. So, you know, almost nobody is going to accuse you or lecture you in public about what you're doing wrong, but they definitely have strong opinions about it. Hmm. Oh, all right. So, keep at it here. Maybe just some matching scale glasses. Yeah, and I think this month they're finally going to start vaccinating the frontline workers here. So all the doctors and nurses are going to be the first with and I think it's the Pfizer vaccine that they're going to do in Japan. But they're going to start that, and so hopefully hopefully everything's okay. I like that thinking that, okay, we don't know the effects of this, so we're going to give it to all the people that we rely on to take care of the, very ill people that are in the most danger. So all the care workers and frontline workers are going to take this vaccine. If they all get sick and all get wiped out, then we're totally fucked. Yeah, it's a very funny. They need protection, but we don't 100% know the long-term effects of this vaccination, but we're willing to risk it on them. They can be the guinea pigs. It's an odd. If it goes terribly wrong, worst case scenario, it's going to be a very strange situation for people to. Oh, that looks very flat, doesn't it? Needs to be more round. But yeah, I thought that was really funny. The thinking. All right, something like this. Maybe longer. Yeah, so it's supposed to be like a fifth, like one of those little fifth bottles. It's a little odd, but I think it'll read. Yeah, that means this is way out of scale. All right. Nice. So let's see if we can scale this up. Oh yeah, it doesn't look, it's not too bad. The line width isn't too out of control. Something like that. So some kind of strange cocktail. All right. Yeah, something like that. But get on the right layer, so I'm actually drawing solid objects. Yeah, so I hope everyone is doing well. It's cold as hell here, but I mean, it's not relative to other parts of the world. It's not that cold, but It's hovering above freezing, which is really annoying because it's wet here in the wintertime. So it not quite freezing is really, it's a strange feeling. It's kind of this weird, annoying cold that it's not that brisk kind of sting your face cold. It's just like this numbing, bone chilling kind of coldness here. Very odd. All right. There we go. Yeah, so we'll see how spring goes here. Yeah, people's allergies might be a much better too. The spring, if they're already going to be, wearing masks the whole time, that'll cut down on the reactions. But oof. Yeah, my touch is really off today. I can't get any lines to do what I want. It's very strange. Weird. All right. Wow, that's missing a whole lot of something here. There we go. Yeah, a little odd, a little weird perspective, but maybe try the distortion a little bit. There we go. This is a huge glass, right? It's proportional. It's going to be all beverages this week. Nice. Yeah, it would be nice to have an early spring this year as a little bit of a reward for all this suffering people have been doing indoors over the winter. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so much of the bad weather condition and lockdowns have been making people talk about diet, like how what people eat in different cultures, different countries' diets are affecting things. And it's really funny, the people that it seems like they're saying like Asia and Africa are having actually better, they're doing much better as far as the consequences of infection, and they're not sure. They're thinking it's probably diet and maybe also kind of like lifestyle. But the thing that they keep talking about is the longer that your supply chain is for your food, like the further away the food that you eat is grown from you, the more unhealthy you usually are, the less benefit it has, because they have to do things to preserve it or get it to you. So frozen or chemical preservatives or whatever, it has to be truck ready or whatever. So I thought that was yeah interesting because that's the big culture difference. In Japan, it's more like European style. Is so people shop every day. You just buy groceries every single day. So that means the grocery market is always crowded, especially after work. But yeah, that's a big difference, and being able to eat a lot of local stuff. So it didn't go far at all from where you actually bought it. It's all locally grown. Because that makes a big difference because there's so much less that needs to be done to it. So yeah, what they were talking about supply chain and yeah, and just different styles of food. But it's hard to know. See, a lot of that research, it's hard to know because you don't know if there's an actual relationship, like a causal relationship between the things that people are eating and their immune systems, or it's just like overall they're less sedentary, or they eat less salty or less fat or whatever. You don't know if there's a direct relationship. It may just be overall. But yes, I've been seeing a lot of discussion of that. And that was a thing too. One professor that I was talking to about the vaccines in or how they're handling the vaccines in Japan, they're much slower to approve things. Like their version of the FDA moves very, very slowly, and part of that is because of the older, much older population. This is not right, is it? But also because they are very conscious, or like they pay a lot more attention to the differences in Japanese physiology, like Asian versus Western physiology. So just because there's trials in America or Europe for a drug, they want to make sure that they can have information about. Oh, I haven't drawn one of these in a while. It looks very bizarre. They want to know the different effects that it may have on Japanese because of diet and just physical traits. They know that there's a difference, and it's funny that especially like America will not admit that at all. They're treating, everybody like there is no difference. There are no differences between people. I mean, they don't want there to be social differences or economic or differences of access or privilege, but there are physiological differences, and it's funny that America won't. They'll take the lawsuit as opposed to be accused of any racism in their research, which is insane. Yeah, it's really funny. But that was the interesting thing when I saw that there was a paper that I saw that was talking about that. They were talking about what like the instances of diabetes or something relative to weight gain in Japanese population, and how the numbers are really different if you compare it to Western countries. And they're aware of that. They're not pretending that it doesn't exist. So that's another, so when they import things like, McDonald's or whatever, they have to be aware of that the types of foods that those places sell are going to create, big diet changes, especially for younger people. So you have to know what that's going to mean. Is this working? I can't tell. I guess it looks just really wonky. I haven't seen a gallon of milk in a long time. It's all those little paper liter, like, it's all things like this here. I haven't seen stuff in a big plastic. So there's a little bit of this going on, right? I haven't seen a big plastic jug in a while. Actually, I should just try to draw maybe like an orange juice. That might work better. Yeah, something that reads like a big jug of orange juice as opposed to that more squared. It's been too long. It's crazy. It's funny. I can't even imagine buying a gallon of milk either. That's a lot of milk. Or multiple gallons of milk. You remember having to hold, like holding 2 gallons, like the handles together from the grocery store. So buying 2 gallons of milk. That's insane. It's like, what, 8 liters or whatever? Ugh, this is all bizarre. Okay, so I won't put the cap on it, maybe. That'll help. Yeah, everything's just looking weird. I'm forgetting. Nice. Oh no. Yeah, cold weather can make you feel terrible. Oh, well, this first one is looking better now that I'm looking at this. What's going on? Yeah, this whole thing is looking a mess. So I just need, I guess, that one lip and then the cap, and that should read as a big jug of milk or orange juice. Wow. My memory is fading. Yeah, to me this looks more like a detergent bottle than something that would have orange juice in it. And I'm sure the design's even changed since the last time I've seen it, because they are always trying to get more efficient. If they're going to recycle that plastic, they always try to get more and more efficient. So if I do that, I can put threads. Oops. Put threads on this. What's going on? Oh, okay. Could not select. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Wrong layer. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, so the actual scale of this would be more like that. Nah, not really. Whoa! Oh, yeah. It is totally open on that side there. There we go. Many beverage choices. Maybe one more cap. Nice. Hey, Jodis, how's it going? Oh. Just drawing the weekly cartoons, and hopefully we'll take a look at last week's and see how those went. Yeah, I think I was running out of brain power last week. That was yeah, I think without doing like the little convenience store snack thing or whatever, my blood sugar gets crazy low, and I'm all on caffeine only. So when it's time to like think of something funny, I've got nothing going on. Yeah, I think that works scale wise for all of this. But that's painful, thinking when there's nothing, no ability to do it. All right, let's try all this and just kind of center it. works. I guess it is a beverage week. All right. Yeah, I don't think we got to scale any of this, or maybe this on this side. Jeez, come on. Just one. No, I guess it works okay over there. Maybe a wine cork. Even though that looks like a bottle cap type situation. Oh, let's see. There we go. Something like that. All right. Here we go. Okay, so we do yeah, let's do the comments now. How's it going? So if you're curious about what what is going on, so this is a weekly cartoon that I draw live on stream. So it's 2 cartoons. They are posted on Tuesdays and Thursdays on gocomics.com. And I guess we'll take a look at Go Comics right now. If I can find my cursor. Let's see here. All right. There we go. Take a look at Go Comics now. There we go. Still have my microphone. Yes. So this is the so February 2nd. This is the cartoon from Tuesday this week. So they knew they would regret sharing a drink. That's right. It was all of the the sexual threesome innuendo of fast food last week, and finally came up with something. So let's see what people said about nothing worse than a soggy bag bottom. With the dark spots on the bag to indicate freshness. Nice. Yes, those nice greasy spots. Yeah, I think people know that is supposed to be grease, right? A bag of wheat, bag of tares, and divided only by straw. Oh, that's that. Yeah, this is the weird hockey poet again. All right. So yeah, so a few likes, not a huge hit, and the one for the 28th. So mask controversy. Since this is mostly an American audience, the website is an American comic website, mostly, you know, like old style newspaper, syndicated newspaper, and magazine comics of 5 comments. So it was impossible to think this wouldn't come between them. All right, let's see. I think they've come together before. They'll come together before it's all over. Privacy screenplay for Dean Morton Salt Shaker. Is this just an AI or something? It's very strange. This almost doesn't even seem like a human is writing this, because it's putting together such random phrases and things. Yeah, it's funny. Maybe it is just somebody testing their software. Those mugs are already full. Why do they need a coffee filter? Haha, Chromosome. Whoa, Chromosome. Yeah, that's a somebody that was reading many years ago that came back. That's funny. Nice. All right. Well, let's do a few random. Oh, there's... What is this? This is my... What is that? Steam or something? Oh, here's coffee or tea bags. 2017, February 9th. So, what, 4 years ago? No comments. He had given all the Darjeeling he was able to give. Right. Tea jokes. 2011. Oh, there's a... definitely a marker drawing. The border between breakfast and madness is quite narrow. I think this is Douglas Adams' line. Not madness, just flakiness. Oh, yeah, 9 years ago. All right. Oh yeah, that was Chromosome again from 9 years. Wow, so reading this comic for about 10 years. That's crazy. Yeah, this looks digital just because of the weird variance in the line. But this might be early digital. March 25th, 2014. He had gone from being a fruit bowl to a bystander without even noticing. No way to tip himself back over. So, oh wait, I had already liked that. All right, and oh, there's an old one, 2007. Old electric brush. Oral hygiene was hard on relationships and the germs that cause bad breath. Oh man, people miss that amazing joke. And oh, look at that funky thing. There's the little pressure button on those caps, on the metal caps on jars where they pop up if the seal's been broken. Once the seal on his lid was broken, the spaghetti sauce finally could relax. He's smiling, but wow, that's a bad drawing. Yeah, I didn't, I wouldn't correct them. I would just scan them in when they were the marker drawings, and I wouldn't correct them. But, oof, there's not much going on there. It's crazy. Another 2006. That's a little better. Pretty small. That's interesting too. Is I've started to, and I think it's a symptom of printing them more and trying to do things other than having them just be cartoons. Is I'm trying to fill the frame more. The early cartoons, when I would scan them, because I would draw them on a big piece of letter size, kind of A4 paper, and draw them kind of small in the middle. So when I'd scan them, I wouldn't scale them up at all. I'd leave them at that scale. So whatever proportion they were drawn at, they would stay at when they were scanned. So a lot of them were very tiny and kind of, floating in this big field of white. And like over the last 10 years, they've just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger because I want to fill that, like compose the frame a little bit more. So yeah, that feeling has changed because it used to be tiny things kind of far away or looking a little bit more far away, and now things are just getting closer and closer. But then I also do like more detail, so I don't know. The cocktail shaker never knew whether it was her or the vigorous shaking that made his head spin. Oh, I should have done some little stars and swirls around the shaker. All right, anything before like 2010 people have not seen it all. Yeah, there's another one. Wow, this looks like marker, but yeah, look at the weird line thickness. Improper spacing is when you find out who your friends are. One pin. There, that's looking a little. Yeah, 2008. I must have changed my marker. She tried to explain to Instant Coffee that some things take time and need more than hot water. Relationship jokes. Wow, 2007. Well, I'm definitely in Japan by now. Their International Food Night had somehow gone horribly wrong. Ooh, a watch and a watch battery. Oh, a simple change of battery broke the decades that he had known continuously. As I think we've looked at that one before. Wow, all old stuff. Erasing the entire page was far less satisfying than he expected. So you can go back through these thousands of cartoons and the earlier the stranger. Once all the band-aids were used, it was time to reinvent himself as an empty band-aid box. Wow, yeah. Nothing before 2010 got much attention. The plastic bags of turkey gravy had frozen in the most uncomfortable position imaginable. Random is not very random. A graduate degree did not warrant such library violence. There's a comment. Coffee breaks now ignored the concept of inedible. Crunchy. All right. Well, enough of that nonsense. Let's go back and do some coloring. Oof. All right. So let's just add the tones to these guys. Yeah, I've got a weird L-shaped monitor configuration now, so it's hard to Hard to find my cursor sometimes. Okay, so let's do a wine bottle, kind of dark green. And cork. Yeah, something like that, maybe. Yeah, I've finally gotten smart and started to color pick on the same monitor. Because when you cross monitors, you never know. A little darker. You never know how differently they're going to be set. All right, and this is just going to be like antifreeze or something. So it can have a crazy bright colored, and maybe like a bright blue or something. Yeah, maybe bright. So it definitely reads as not edible. They're not drinkable. All right. Uh-oh. So the wine glass wasn't closed either? Oh, yeah, there's a little gap right there. All right, so... let's fix the wine glass. Wow, that's funny. Done that multiple times today. There we go. Now, let's fit. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So everything's filled. But maybe, yeah, I think they're gonna draw them with something in them. So, and maybe just like a weird murky liquid. So what would it be if you combined red wine and antifreeze and like whiskey or yeah, I guess that would be like a whiskey fifth. What color would that be? Let's see if this works. Gray, maybe more translucent than that. Not gray. What would that be? Okay, so like a purple and a green. I guess we can kind of simulate it. Let's do... this plus this. Plus this. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So multiply is just going to make things really dark. So maybe let's try like soft light. Yeah, something closer to that. Yeah, I like how unnatural the gray looks, though. Yeah, it's kind of greenish and strange. Maybe that. That's not bad. I put it here. Yeah, there. Something like that. And then do, yeah, like a lighter version. Up top. Let's see how this works. Hey Rev, how's it going? Good to see you. Oh. Okay, I need to just match these, I think. There we go. Then do this. Oh. Then lighten it. Yeah, something that just looks unnatural and undrinkable. All right, and then try some rendering on the bottle and stuff. All right. Come on. It's not going to let me fill that. Nope, it will not. Wow. So, let's try to make that work. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I think this color-wise might work. And here. And maybe some labels. Yeah, everything's going to need some kind of label. All right. Go. Yeah, maybe some kind of weird greenish label. It'll make it look more like, oh, darker than that though. Old cough medicine or something. And something on the wine, kind of paper colored. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. That's reading, I think. Whoa, that's too much. Oh, I should put some dots on the... yeah, let's switch over, put some... give that sponge... oops. Come on. It's that sponge... cork texture. A little bit. Yeah, the pressure on this is goofy. Look at that. I'm getting really weird, inconsistent. And then maybe some over here. There we go. Now it reads more like cork. Maybe, yeah, maybe this on the glasses. A little more glass looking. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I can't believe so many kids in the U.S. have just been home this whole year from school, and that school districts are using their unions to keep the schools only doing remote learning. It's weird. There's going to be just like a year of missing education from students. And then there's going to be all that ridiculous talk of competing, of American schools not being competitive. That's the really weird thing, the obsession. I mean, I guess that's an Asian thing. but the obsession with being competitive and like raising the level of the school curriculum and everything in Japan to be competitive with other Asian countries. So of course the big competition is between for Japan is Korea and China, but the way they run a lot of their education is pretty brutal, pretty prison-like. So I don't know if you really want to try to compete with that, because it reduces quality of life insanely for kids. But it's a thing. It's one of those things that I think politicians can get attention with. So they do. I'll put the eyes up here. A little bit bigger. So, yeah, but you occasionally hear that from the U.S. Probably because it's easy political capital there too. But yeah, so much for competition. When people have a year of schooling, actually physically in school advantage, I think that'll make a little difference. Is that too green? Yeah, it reads as something undrinkable, so I think I'll just go with that. Oh yeah, well that's true. But I mean, I think the social, well, I don't know, but the social element of it is, I mean, people already socialize way too much online, so kids aren't even going to be able to interact with each other. People will literally just stand in front of each other and text. I mean, because I think that's the only, especially public education in the U.S., the only value of it is to learn how to deal with people that hate you and figure out how you're going to navigate that at your job. Mm. Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, is we're going to be so less sensitive, or we're so less tolerant, more sensitive to getting sick from other people, that it's going to get weird. People are just not going to want to go back to taking any of those risks. When, how the immune system works is, yeah, you should expose yourself to things, not in, life endangering ways, but you should expose yourself to things so your body learns them and gets stronger. And if we're not willing to do that, because that was the thing, that was the experience I had with my first daughter, is we didn't do preschool or anything, and she didn't do a lot of all that kind of play group, that where you just like take them to some class or whatever and have them run around with kids. White first. So she didn't have a lot of interaction with kids except for like neighborhood kids. And so then when she went to her first kindergarten, she got wiped out immediately by sickness. She was just like, ear infections and horrible sick all the time, because she didn't have any other exposure to kids to keep her, so her immune system was totally unlearned. It didn't know, how to deal with anything. So she got wiped out immediately. So spent that first whole year just crazy sick. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. We're going to become less tolerant of each other. Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Uh, let's see. Better blue than that. Oh, there we go. Something like that. Maybe red. Oh, blue. I guess blue works. Yeah, so we're just not going to be able to stand being around each other anymore for fear of contamination. Because that'll, in the U.S. at least, that'll kill movie theaters and live shows that are inside in any way. Yeah. Maybe this way. It doesn't look. Oh yeah, maybe this way reads better. Yeah. But it'll be part of the continuation of if we don't spend any time around each other, we will tolerate each other's opinions less and less and less. This is way too big. Let me get rid of this. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. There we go. Yeah, because movie theaters, even I think with the, I don't know, this angle looks wrong. Movie theaters are still open here. So I'm not sure if they're reducing. I haven't gone, but I don't know if they've reduced, the audience size. They're probably doing some extra. What happened? Yeah. I was always drawing this stripe on milk cartons. Now it just isn't reading well. Oops. So, I don't know. Yeah, there will always be the kind of dense, maybe something like that, the dense social interaction here. I don't think that'll ever stop just because it's so inescapable. Yeah, and this is the country that the country of bullying. It's so insane. Yeah, there was even a story about a teacher being bullied by other teachers. They something ridiculous. Like they did something to his car and stole his pants or something. It was teachers. I can't remember if I talked about that when that was in the news, but it was school teachers bullying another school teacher. And it's just bullying culture is insane in Japan. So I'm sure it would, there's a lot of people that would be happy to not to not have to deal with that. Ugh. But I don't know what it is. It's just it's such a big part of the social order here. And maybe also, like Dolly was talking about, that the nail that sticks up gets hammered down. You kind of get permission here to tell people, or to force people into social order. So not strangers on the street, but people that you're kind of in a social group with, so a work group or a school group or something, you're allowed to really go after them if you think they're not pulling their weight and kind of participating in the group enough. So yeah, it's very different mentality. So I wonder, something reddish. Yeah, maybe not red. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be happy to avoid that part of their lives. There. Just do that. Yeah, those jugs are looking strange. Those plastic jugs. Blue top milk. Yeah, I mean, there is, especially in a lot of public school districts, there is a weird similarity to, the prison system. I'm sure there's a lot of rules and everything and crowd control things that they do in public schools that are running them just like prisons. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess as we start to, if we're going to start working much more remotely, then the only etiquette and kind of social interaction we need to learn is email and video conferencing. So that might be true that it's going to become incredibly unnecessary to subject kids to that. Whoops. Yeah, because I definitely have very mixed experiences. And I just went up to all public school, and some were garbage and some were okay. I think it had a lot to do with whoops, the people running the schools, the principal, vice principal, kind of the choices they were making, because there were some amazingly weak administrations. That just let kids run insanely wild. Yeah, that was the thing when I was at a school with there were richer kids at the school. It was a weird thing because it was a very weird mix of very rich kids and very poor kids. So it'd be kids that would get, you know, cars on their 16th birthday, like new cars on their 16th birthday, and then other kids that, all right, would, be riding the bus until they were 20, and it's like held back in high school. But yeah, so it was a really weird culture. That was so bizarre. It was a really weird culture clash. I guess that happens in the Midwest probably more than other places. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, very strange kind of culture clash there of weird kind of rural kids and then weird suburban, like kids of anesthesiologists and stuff, like weird overeducated people that made too much money for not enough work. But I don't know. Yeah, it's very strange. But I think people are going to be even more intolerant. If you haven't been in a fight in school, you are going to be so insanely intolerable online because you're going to feel like you're this immortal, untouchable, like you've never been humbled and you've never had to confront somebody that just wants to go after you. So I think that's weird, and there's a lot of, I don't know, that attitude is very weird. And I even notice that there's even people here that are close to my age that you can tell that they've never been humbled in any way. They've lived very sheltered lives in very sheltered situations, and I think especially if you've lived too long in Japan, there's not a lot of fighting here at all. So yeah, you're gonna feel a little too immortal for your own good, and that translates to really weird behavior online. I don't know. Everyone needs to join the punched in the face club, I think. Just kind of have a sense of the scale of the world. All right, so that's some colored. Yeah, it's a beverage-based week, I suppose. All right. Wow, this is going pretty fast. I didn't do a lot of drawing. All right, so I found something. So I was at the convenience store this morning, finally. So I found something to show you. It's very odd. So here, wait, let me switch over to, well, yeah, I guess so you can see what it is better. We'll switch over to the closer up cam, but I don't know how closer up you want to be. All right, let's try this. Whoa, there we go. All right. So from Toho, it's funny, there's another company called Toho. Oh, wait a minute. What? Oh my. Yeah, everything is not registering very well. There's the top of the green screen. All right, but So from another company, not the movie studio, I'm supposing, called Toho, and oh, that's yellow. But yeah, yellow is keying out. We have fried potato fry. So basically, they something that's fried. They don't say fried something. They say fry after. So when they say like a fried shrimp or something, it's shrimp fry. Everything is fry. The fry comes after, not before. I don't know why. I wonder where they got that from. They might have gotten that from like Spanish or French or something. But that's the word order. So this is potato fry. So this is a fried potato snack, but this is this is a fried potato snack that is imitating fried chicken. So we'll see how this goes. Uh-oh, I gotta double check my mic is actually, yeah, there we go. I couldn't see my mic, so I was wondering. And I love this, the little waiter guy here. Oh, it's all keying out. Well, oh, there's only 4. There's literally 4 pieces in this bag. They even tell you you're only getting 4. But so this is fried potato. So maybe there's different flavors and things. But fried potato, fried chicken. So we'll see. We'll see what that is. But I like the retro look of the bag. I don't know. I haven't heard of the company before. Oh, I've got more than maybe it's just broken pieces. But yeah, here's what it looks like. It looks like crackers, really. It doesn't look like, it's not potato chips as much as I thought it was. Well, kind of. Yeah, yeah, it smells a little bit like chicken soup powder. Oh, yeah, they're rice crackers. That's weird. It doesn't say, oh, this is potato. I don't think it's potato. It tastes like a rice cracker. So that's one of them. An incomplete part of one of them. Yeah, so they look kind of like rice crackers. They're keying out. My chroma key is really bad. But maybe. Well, let me see what the ingredients if they're actually cornstarch. Not actually rice, so I guess it is potato. It's really light, though. Weird. Yeah, I guess it is potato. It's really super light, but, kind of light like rice crackers, like that. Puffed rice crackers are really light. It is potato, so it's really fine, thin little potato things. So obviously, like, powdered or like mashed up potato fried into these little crackers. Yeah, so it doesn't say rice on here, so it must be potato. Yeah, well, the flavor's not bad. It's not like disgusting fake. It's pretty natural chicken flavor. Or it doesn't quite taste like fried chicken. It's not greasy enough. But it's not bad. It's not that real cheesy. Okay, so it's a real mild chicken taste. Yeah, not bad. Not a perfect simulation, but better than I thought. Fried chicken flavored fried potatoes are not terrible. We are really mild. Not very salty either, which is pretty common for these kinds of snacks. So very funny. Oh, here's one. There we go. So it's 4 of these, which of course, didn't make it intact. So there was only one in one piece. Oh yeah, I should start doing ratings. So pretty good. Maybe 8 out of 10. Because the flavor is surprisingly good. Yeah, it's not a total, and I don't think it's supposed to be a total simulation. It's funny though, in the front though, it looks like they're look like slices of potatoes, because that looks like the potato skin, unless it's a really bad shadow. Oh, maybe it's just a bad shadow reproduced. But these are weird potato crisps, so they're not like Pringles or anything, that real starchy kind of what's that? It's kind of like, what's that, ground? You can tell it's like ground potato, ground dehydrated or dried potato. It's definitely more fried. Really lightly fried. But pretty good. I don't know if you'll be able to find these. I think these are probably pretty rare. Or if you ever see this little dude, and there's a bunch of little drawings of this little guy. If you ever see Toho potato fries, they're not bad at all. Yeah, not the weirdest, most unpleasant thing, and they don't have that that real fake. So I think a lot more. And actually, I probably don't know the Japanese for a lot of the chemical names, but most Japanese snacks don't have that amazing amount of preservatives, so they get stale really fast. Like they don't last very long. But yeah, because these are only good until July. And if you bought a bag of something like this, maybe in the U.S., it would be good until 2025 or whatever. You know, the expiration lasts a lot longer. And that's the thing I've noticed is old, expired Japanese snacks don't start to have that chemical taste. You know, like if you have like old saltine crackers, or I'm trying to think of what else, like American, like Nabisco kind of brands of things. When they're way past their expiration, you just start to taste the preservatives. Like the preservatives take over the flavor of everything, and that's basically all you can taste. And Japanese snacks aren't like that, but that also means they don't last very long. Like they get, you know, stale and weird tasting, kind of sour or funny very quickly. Wow, so not bad. So potato fry, yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. And there's only 4 of them. It's I think it was less than $1, but there's literally only 4 of them. So well, a good recommendation, a recommended snack. Yeah, I guess I should just do a yay or nay. Yeah, weird. Kind of yeah, they're not quite that pressed potato Pringle. They're very smooth. So it might be some sort of you know, like puree or something. But those were good. All right, now my camera is all kinds of fucked up. All right, well, let's see. I don't know where I'm sitting anyhow. All right, well, it's the writing component. Oh, no. Wow. Sedona is such a good granddaughter. That's awesome. I mean, if everybody could have good family members like that, we could eliminate the those brutal retirement homes that basically take a family's fortune away. That's just insane. That yeah, people give up so much to put their family in you know, kind of managed care retirement homes. And the price is just, well, what do you got? Do they got a house? Give us the house, and we'll take care of them. It's so evil. And then the, you know, state-run stuff is even more terrifying. Yeah, but yeah, that's excellent. All right, so breakfast beverage options. Hmm. So the glass looks like it's looking right at the camera. Yeah, yeah, not oily at all. Pretty light. I mean, they're definitely fried, but really really lightly fried. That's like the tempura in Japan. There's literally uh, tempura that the water, or the water, the oil is so hot, and they just go in out, almost kind of like a flash fry, but it's hot enough that it, you know, heats up, and they don't mind, you know, fish and things not being like completely like not overcooked. So I've had some really good tempura that they literally go in and out of the oil. It's, you know, they bread it and then go boom boom. It's very fast, so it's super super light. There's not much oil on it, and the taste is really really light. So it just kind of and that's the other thing. In the nicer tempura restaurants, they have the expensive pans that are like one solid piece of metal, like one like hammered, you know, piece of metal. So it's like a bell. So when the oil gets hot enough, it starts to kind of ping. It chimes like a bell. It's like a really beautiful sound because the pot itself is it's not, you know, constructed from, there's no seams on it or anything. It's just like one solid piece. So very interesting sound I noticed at one of the first restaurants I was at that had the, they do a lot of things in front of you, like you're just at a counter, and so you're watching people prepare everything. And yeah, that was amazing. All right, so drinks. Oof. Oh wow. Well, that's amazing. That I mean, you're willing to, put in that work and sacrifice. I mean, you're sacrificing a lot of your own life, but I mean, that's. I wish that people had more of that. Like they felt more indebted to their family members for, giving their parents life and raising their parents, and then their parents raising you, and then trying to, you know, compensate or kind of, show gratitude for that. There's a lot. Yeah, that's pretty excellent. And I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm wondering. I would think that staff at a care home would be much more likely to, or like the real mental cases would be a lot more likely to abuse the elderly than their own family members. I mean, there is like family is always a little abusive. Like family members always have their level of not treating each other great, but it's very different from how a stranger would treat you. So it's better to be abused by your own blood in that weird way that family members treat each other than to the horrible stuff that and that was that's the thing, because they've had instances of real sickos, real mental cases doing bad things in care homes in Japan, and murdering, killing the elderly and things. That have very ugly news stories, but it's hard to find employees, so they'll take maybe a lower level of person. Okay, so enough of that. That's depressing the hell out of me. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, I'm very impressed, Sedona. That's very excellent. Okay. So it doesn't have to be breakfast, but it's the pressure to not be an empty glass to All right, so what is yeah, so it's all focused on the glass. So I'm thinking it's an empty glass joke. So empty glasses. Wow, good spelling. Lasted long in the morning, where never lasted long, some other context. Never stayed that way long, never remained empty long. Half empty. Yeah. Oh wow. Oh wow. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, maybe completely empty. Half empty or half full glasses had a choice. Completely empty glasses were oh, there we go. That might be good. Yeah, completely empty glasses are always viewed negatively. I don't know if that's gonna... the joke comes across. We're always thought of as a negative thing. We're always viewed negatively. Completely empty glasses. So it's half empty or 100% not full. So half full, half empty, completely full, or completely empty. Completely empty glass. The only option for a completely empty glass was completely full. Or the pressure to be a full glass. Empty glasses. Pressure to be completely full. I don't know. But empty glasses felt only the pressure. I don't know. But something about, yeah. Full, I like, yeah, full empty is funny. Yeah. Jugs, yeah, the jugs. Judged by jugs. Yeah, I like the full empty, full of empty. Oh yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. So he liked to consider. Oh, typing. Full of emptiness. Or maybe like to, he considered himself optimistically, or comfortably. Yeah, maybe, but I'm trying to, yeah, optimistically full of emptiness. I don't know. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. He considered himself so optimistically full of emptiness. He seemed satisfied being full of emptiness. He seemed completely satisfied being all right. Something, yeah, I guess it's not I'm not putting pessimism or optimism in there, but completely satisfied being full of emptiness. I don't know. We'll come back to that and see if that makes any more sense after I stop reading it. Yeah, vacuous. Yeah, vacuous is good too. I like full empty. That's really good. Yeah, full of emptiness is good. Yeah, vacuous. He wasn't vacuous, but just full of emptiness. All right. Well, let's see. Oh, yeah. This one's even worse. All right. So. Yeah, something about a cocktail, a bizarre cocktail. Like limited options. I should maybe put drips of the color of the liquid so they kind of have an idea of the yeah, because then if I put, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Wait, let me do that. So I'll put like a red wine drip and a whiskey colored drip, but then also that antifreeze color. So maybe here. That might help help this read a little better. Not so purple. There we go. So here's the wine. And the antifreeze color. And I'm not going to be able to... Actually, that's not going to come across completely, but... but it should. And then just the kind of dark liquor color. Maybe that, yeah, this one can just be more like this. They bring them all down a little bit. And some shadow. Maybe not shadow. Let's see. Whoa. Don't want to do too much depth, but I definitely want it to read like it's on the surface, and then some highlights. Yeah, these can't be too small or they're not going to read on the small, you know, the rendered version. Let's see. Yeah, kind of. What am I seeing? Oh, it's just like a weird... Oh, that's the green screen. That's the green screen. All right, so there we go. So there's a little bit of what's gone into... Oh yeah, I should make it, yeah, like rubbing alcohol would be more, yeah. I was thinking of it as like a fifth of some kind of cheap whiskey. But yeah, this was supposed to be more like antifreeze. Yeah, maybe this should be more like rubbing alcohol color. So just like a grayish, maybe bluish gray. And then it can just be like high proof rum or something. Let's try this. Yeah, that'll read. Yeah, there. So there we go. All right, so something about a horrible cocktail. Right. Okay. So limited. All right, back to the keyboard. So having limited options. Their ingredients still produced a potent cocktail. I don't know. Limited ingredients or their limited imagination, maybe, is limited imagination. Their limited imagination still produced a very potent cocktail. Oh yeah, no, this, yeah, the blue is more reading like isopropyl alcohol, isn't it? Well, I guess it's vodka. It can be some kind of weird cheap vodka. All right. And there's no cap for it either. So they're limited imaginations. Still produced. Let me save that. Okay. The limited imagination still produced a very... Yeah. Limited combinations, limited... Yes. So just kind of being desperate to not, not having any ingredients or, I don't know, so things were becoming desperate and highly alcoholic. Yeah, maybe something about the desperation and alcohol content were both both raised, both heightened. Experimental cocktail. Yeah, very potent cocktails. Pretty funny. Limited means and imagination. So maybe just, limited means and imagination still produced. Oh, here. Still produced a very potent cocktail. In a wine glass and a all right. What it means in imagination still produced a very potent cocktail. Yeah, I think that's close enough. I just wanted to get across the dangerous and weird weird part of I should put some kind of fruit or garnish or some sort of umbrella or something in those glasses. All right. And so back to this. He seemed satisfied being full of emptiness. Fully satisfied being completely empty. The I don't know. Yeah, so an optimistic empty glass. He was surprisingly optimistic for being completely full of emptiness. Surprisingly optimistic might work. Completely satisfied. He was surprisingly optimistic for being completely empty. For a completely empty glass, yeah. Full of emptiness. He was surprisingly oh, it fits in one line too. He was surprisingly optimistic for a completely empty glass. Full of beverage opportunities of the future. I think that'll work. Yeah, I think, let's see, how long? Oh, yeah, it's 2 hours. Wow. Cool. That's right, because we did everything. Okay, so I think this is going to have to be just so I can get to the car and, yeah, be able to drive. I think we'll wrap this one up a little shorter this week. Sorry for the shortness, but I did actually make it to the convenience store, so there'll be some more things to see. Oh, and if you guys haven't, check out the Nmity Stories. I'll put that link again. There's 4 of those up now on the YouTube channel. Let's see here. See if I can actually find them. Find the channel again. Yeah, I gotta make sure I register for the. So there's 4 of the stories now up on the channel. Oh, I'll subscribe to myself. Yeah, so take a listen and tell me what you think of the sound quality and stuff. I'm using this this service that kind of optimizes sound files just with an algorithm, and I'm not sure. I think it's lowering my background sound effects too much, so you can't quite tell. Because I did things like if they're in some sort of like transport or something, there's like a interior kind of airplane sound. So I think some of that gets lost. But yeah, and tell me if those are too annoying to listen to because of the artificial quality of the voices. But yeah, they're fun to put together, and if it gets enough of an audience, I'll definitely start just having actual voice actors do. Because Dolly did the first one; she did a reading of the first one, and I'll put that. I will put that out as some sort of premium offering soon. But she did an amazing job, so I'd really like to do that in the future. But yeah, the views are slowly picking up. But there's also a podcast. So if you just go to... oh, cool. Thanks, K5. If you just go to maybe the Buzzsprout site is better. And if you just want the audio or, don't want... Because I think YouTube actually does crush them a little bit too. That's the podcast. So that's the podcast website, and things will get posted automatically on there. So I'll be able to do them weekly for a few months, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Because I've got about a dozen stories to give that treatment to, and they're really varied. They the topic, it's just people versus technologists, people in the context of like dehumanizing technology, but it's fun to do. So that's the other thing that I'm working on now. So yeah, so please take care, and we'll be back next week to do this same old thing. So sorry for the shorter stream, but I'll be back next week and do it a little longer if the schedule works better. There's too much driving now with this cold weather. But abusecartoons.com is the website for this cartoon, and of course the archive that we looked at was GoComics /domestic abuse, and all of that should be in the description text for this stream. And follow on Twitter at Abuse Cartoons, and yeah, there's both the Twitch channel and the YouTube channel where this live stream lives. So take care, everyone. How dare you, sir? But yeah, so it was good to see everybody, and please take care. Oh, hey, Yum, sorry. Sorry, yeah, I started a little bit early and then had to cut things short because of my driving responsibilities. Hello and goodbye, Yum. Good to see you. But this will be in the archive if you want to see me eat chicken-flavored potato snacks. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Yeah, I love you too. And thank you all for always showing up on the stream. It's really great to keep in touch and catch up, and yeah, just talk about what is going on, because it never stops being weird. So yeah, everybody have a good week, and we'll be back to do the same thing next week. So yeah, and let me know. Give me some feedback if you get a chance to listen to any of the stories. The sound quality on the YouTube is not as good as I'd like. The podcast sounds much nicer, I think. YouTube has a weird way that they crush stuff up. The compression is just pretty brutal. So we'll see. Obviously, it's not meant for audio, and I don't think you can actually. You can do Google Podcasts, but you can't actually put audio files on like Google or YouTube Music. So I'll look into that and see if they're kinder, because these are like 24-bit WAV files, so they should sound amazing. But on YouTube, it's a little odd. All right, so take care, everyone. Good to see you, Rev K5. Hey, Cat Queen. Thanks for showing up. Sorry for the shorter stream, but yeah, everybody take care and see you again soon. So we'll be back next week. Goodbye.